person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Did you know that AmeriCorps programs improve lives, strengthen communities, and foster civic engagement in Nebraska? For example, AmeriCorps members serving with International Council for Refugees and Immigrants help students from refugee and immigrant families overcome cultural barriers and adapt to life in Nebraska. Discover more about AmeriCorps programs making a difference in your community at serve.nebraska.gov. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
I used to smoke. I thought of cigarettes as my best friend.
They were always there for me when I needed a break.
I also thought cigarettes were my best friend, and then they gave me peripheral artery disease.
I smoked and had a stroke. Actually, multiple strokes.
I smoked and have heart disease. Here's my tip. If cigarettes are your friend, you need a better friend.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is how we do every day. We be grinding, and if you want to come and text us.
If you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music.
This is Mommy's jam.
Then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the 93.7 The Ticket studio. From the heart of Lincoln, America, this is What's Next 24. with the authors of Next 24, Michael Worrell and Sherry Tills.
All right, welcome in. Happy Sunday. This is What's Next 24. As always, Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. If you guys want to join in, 402-464-5685. Starter Human text line. As always, you can put a face to the voice. Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, Channel 961. Got a great show today. We got Jaxson, Nick, as always, the host, Mike and Sherry as well. With that being said, I'll go ahead and throw it over to Mike. Hey,
Good
Sherry.
morning, Harrison. I'm Sherry. I'm not Mike.
Yeah, we switched it up.
Yes, we should have told you, Harrison. Sorry. Anyways, you guys, welcome to What's Next on 93.7 The Ticket. We're broadcasting live from 1024 O Street in Lincoln, Nebraska. We are your trusted source for inspiration, hope, and real-life conversations. In a world that moves at breakneck speed, we understand the importance of taking a moment to slow down, address both the triumphs and the challenges that shape our lives. From the heart-pounding excitement of sports to the pressing issues that impact our communities, our show is here to inform, inspire, and ignite meaningful discussions. Join us as we spotlight extraordinary individuals, share stories of perseverance, and explore the intersection of sports and real-life issues. Together, we'll navigate the highs and lows, celebrate the victories, and find strength in shared experiences. Harrison, once again, good morning, buddy. We're so glad to have you. He is such an awesome producer, you guys. I can't say enough good about him. Mike, I'm going to let you introduce our special guest
All
today.
right. Well, today's a special day for me. I'm so glad to have in studio with us Nick Love and Jaxson Love. Jackson's an athlete over at Northwest Falcon High School. He's just beginning his athletic career, and he's been doing really, really well. Nick is a supervisor over at StarTran. I've known him for a long time. He's a great guy. So, Nick, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. How you doing, buddy?
Absolutely. Thanks, Mike. Glad to be here.
This is really an honor today. Jaxson, how you doing this morning? I know it's tough to get out of bed today.
Doing good.
Let me get some words out of him. Doing good. That's all right. Nick, to start the show off, I just kind of wanted to start with you. As today's show, we just wanted to talk about the father-son relationship when it comes to just growing up in Lincoln, doing athletics, going to Northwest High School. They're a fairly new school. They're in their third season of football. But let's start with, tell us about your background, Nick.
My background, I've been in Lincoln most of my life. Came here when I was about 5 years old. Grew up down in the Meadow Lane area in Lincoln. And, I played a lot of athletics here in Lincoln myself. I went to Pius the 10th High School here in Lincoln for my freshman and sophomore year, where I played basketball, football, ran track. Unfortunately, my athletic career kind of ended early for me. I had a lot of injuries when I was younger, kind of set me on a different path. And I've really, that is regrets that I have in my life that I didn't continue playing sports. But it's led me to the path that I'm on right now, which is amazing.
Let's talk about that a little bit. In the early years, I mean, was that your goal? I mean, were you pretty strong into athletics? It was find your joy. You're having fun with it.
Yeah, I think I did it more for fun. I didn't know that I was really looking for a career in it. I think in my youth, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, what path I wanted to go down. I was just playing sports for fun.
Yeah, like many kids do these days, or back in the day before all this internet.
Right. Yeah.
Stuff.
When I was growing up, and I'm sure with you too, we didn't have the tools that all these kids have access to now.
No.
I played YMCA sports straight into high school now. Jackson's played AAU basketball for the last several years for Nebraska United basketball.
Yeah.
The Lincoln Youth Football program here in Lincoln, which is amazing. He started his football journey. 8th grade was a year ago. Was the first time that he ever played. He hadn't really shown interest in his youth, and then all of a sudden one year he's like, I want to play football. Okay,
Nick, let me ask you before we get on to Jackson's career, though. Back in the day, you talked a little bit about what was your family life like? I mean, was your father a role model? Were your coaches a role model? What was influencing you during those days?
Yeah, I grew up with an amazing family. My parents were extremely supportive. My dad, very hardworking man, worked 2 jobs my whole life. So he wasn't around a lot. He was always working, but when I had something going on, he was always there. My mom has always been one of my biggest supporters. My family is great, and yeah, I wish my dad would have been around a little bit more, but he was always there for me.
And I'm just talking to you. I know you're a big Husker fan.
Oh, absolutely.
And going through that. So all those influences, and then flash moving forward really quick. You find yourself as a father growing up, looking at Jaxson. What has been your goal as a father? What do you want for him?
I think as a father in anything right now is I just try to be there to support him. My wife is amazing. She's the glue that holds the family together, and just we're both big supporters. I think the main thing is just being there for the kids, giving them any tools that they need to achieve their goals, whatever it is. Like Jackson's the athlete in the family. So we feed him with all that. And my youngest daughter, she's just as smart as can be. Her goal is to be a writer, and some of the things that I see as an 11-year-old or 12-year-old that she puts down on paper. It's going,
wow.
What I'd like to ask you is, in the early years, because I noticed being a father too, I tried to do a lot of things that maybe my father did not do.
Sure, absolutely.
Did you find that in your mind with Jaxson?
My dad did what he had to do to support the
Sure,
family.
right, absolutely.
And, I do the same, but I also want to be present for everything. I don't miss a game. There for everything, which, as we all know, it can be a little bit rough. It's very time consuming.
Oh yeah. Nick, what was your fondest memories of Jaxson as you were growing up? Just with the sports, you kind of introduced him to some things. Do you remember back what that was like?
Oh, absolutely. When starting off in his sports journey when he was about 5 or 6, I started coaching. But we coached soccer the first year that he played. I don't know anything about soccer, so that was
who did in Nebraska back then? It wasn't soccer; it's football.
It may be hard for him to quite grasp that. With the physique that I have now, that at one point in time I was an athlete too. So I've tried kind of coaching him the best that I know how, and he doesn't always want to listen, because he's like, my dad was never an athlete, and then as he's gotten older, come to find out he kind of knew what he was talking about.
Well, Nick, one final quick question before we transfer to Jaxson. I'd like to ask you, the lessons you've had in life, how have you transferred those? You call them regrets, but lessons that you've had to Jaxson.
I don't know that it's really regrets. I do have regrets in life. I kind of strayed down a wrong path at one point in my life, and thank God every day that in my 30s he gave me an angel, my wife Tabitha Love, that has kind of brought me on the right path, and kind of kept me on the straight and narrow, and now our whole life revolves around our family.
Well, if I recall right, you felt, didn't you go out? Did you go to work right after high school, or did you go on to college?
Yeah, I had a daughter at 20 years old, so college really kind of got put on the back burner for me. I had to go out and work to support my family, so
So you ended up having to go work hard.
Yeah.
You put the effort in, you put the time in. You were doing construction, if I recall right. Was it not?
I did construction starting straight out of high school until I started at Star Tran 12 years ago. I got to that point in life where I was in my 30s and up on a roof and huffing shingles and everything that.
So I imagine you found yourself having to do things that you had to do, maybe not necessarily what you wanted to do.
Absolutely.
And that's a good lesson for the young kids today, in my opinion, as I've seen it. I see it myself. Jaxson, let's pivot over to you. Do you remember what's your fondest memories of your father growing up?
I remember mostly a lot when I was really little, and he used to try to coach every sport that I played. For a while it was soccer, and then we moved over to basketball. For the YMCA, he coached me for maybe 1 or 2 years with a lot of my friends. And it was just a way to bond more over sports, and an excuse to be at everything you could possibly be at for sports.
What does that mean for you as a young man? You like having your father around, or
Yeah,
sometimes do you not want to have your dad around?
when I was younger, it was really nice to be able to have him coach me for a while,
Yeah.
teach me the fundamentals of every game, and keep
Yeah.
my head straight.
What has that meant to you? Do you remember? You remember what it was like? Was it kind of really? When you listen to your dad, you find sometimes maybe he's more right than wrong.
Yeah.
Hard to admit
But
that.
you don't want to admit that to him, do you?
Yeah. Yeah. What can you share? What were some of the lessons that your dad's taught you?
He always taught me just all sports. It's 70% mind games, and don't let anyone get into your mind. And just always keep your head up. Never be the one to keep the team down.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing I've noticed a lot in the world today, there's a lot of young men without fathers. Talk a lot about that. How really that's tough. It's quite difficult.
Jaxson, let me ask you, and your dad doing a lot of coaching on your teams early on. How did that affect, or did it affect the relationships with your friends? Because peer pressure is such a big thing right now. Was it like, oh well, yeah, you get to start because your dad's the coach, or you know those kind of things
Yeah.
that kids say?
I don't think it really played a huge role in that because I was so little and everyone was just more focused on having fun compared to anything else. So I don't think it really meant a huge deal. But if it was right now, that definitely probably would
It'd be
happened.
huge.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't really want dad there standing behind you with the clipboard, huh?
Yeah, not as a coach, but definitely on the sidelines. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jaxson, right now you're at such an early age, but a good age. You got so much life ahead of you instead of like Nick and I, a little more behind us, right? What do you find in what's your favorite sport? What do you like?
For a while, it was always basketball. I just wanted to do everything just basketball, basketball, basketball. But the past year, when I started playing football, it's just been straight football. I loved it ever
Straight football?
Yeah.
It just got under your skin, and that
Yeah.
became the love.
Mm.
You know, and that's cool because that's you got to put all your focus into it. I know we see a lot of athletes. I mean, you look at Bo Jackson, and he played just about everything under the sun. He was great at everything, but that's not the norm. You know, that's just not the norm. And you know, I think you watch these young athletes, and I think it's so important to keep that focus. You know, especially as they get to the higher grades in high school, and then looking forward to college. You know, because there's so much involved than just going out, more involved than just going out on that field. You know, and I think what you said, what your dad has taught you is that, you know, the percentage is so much more in the mind than it is in, you know, the rest of what it encompasses. Let me ask you a quick question. I have I still have a grandson. He's not had, but he played baseball, and I'm telling you that, you know, the select teams, and like you said, you know, it's almost like back in our day, there wasn't such a thing as select teams. You went out for sports. If you made the team, great. If you didn't, well, then you tried something else. But now it's almost like a prerequisite for you to make a high school team. You have to have those years of the select sports, and you know, it almost has become a little bit political. Um, you know, did you realize that the past few years, or was it just okay? This is what I need to do to accomplish my goal.
So for AAU basketball, it costs a lot of money to play
Yes,
for
it
those
does.
teams, and some kids or families just don't have the money to play.
Yes.
And so it's really restricting sometimes when a kid can't play. And some of the recommendations for high school is that you've played for those type of teams before.
Mhm.
So it really weighs people down whenever they can't play for those teams.
It's almost a little prejudiced,
Yeah,
and it's sad.
And Jaxson had got to the point with basketball, playing YMCA sports, that he, you know, I kept seeing him out there, and I'm going, he's playing beyond this. This is not testing him enough to get him to the next point that he wants, which right now is high school basketball. So
yeah,
you've got to get them involved in the higher levels, and that's one thing that I've always told him. The only way to get better at something is to play somebody that's better.
Right.
Like he spends a lot of time at the YMCA, almost hours a day, and he's playing pickup games with adults, and that's helped bring him to the level he's at now.
Nick, let me ask you, when did you start to notice that Jaxson has some natural talent?
I think in the beginning, I kind of always saw that he was going to be an athlete. It's in his blood. He's always been fast, always been big, always been strong. But within the last about 3 years, he's really just excelled, and a lot of that comes from the hard work that he puts in. You know, he's sun up to sundown. That's the life that he wants to live. That's all he does. You know, he'll go to school at 7 a.m, go lift weights. He's got practice after school, and then as soon as he's coming home from practice, he's like, "Oh, you take me to the Y." Man,
but see, that's what. But when you hear the stories about some of the what I call the super athletes, like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, that was their whole mindset growing up. It was just push, push, push. You know, it's not tunnel vision, but it is kind of tunnel vision. You know, it's like that's my goal. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get to where I want to be to achieve that. And
absolutely.
I mean, kudos to you, because most kids in high school, they're not that focused. They'll play sports, but they're not that focused. They're, you know, I'm sure, well, you get a little bit older. I'm sure girls are starting to play a part, not to embarrass you, but you know, that's something you should be proud of, your focus with all of this.
Well, Jaxson, tell me now. Last year was your first year. Is that correct? Playing at Northwest as a quarterback?
No.
As a freshman year?
Freshman at Northwest this year, but I started football last year.
Well, you started football last year.
Yeah.
What positions did you play?
Last year they had me at tight end and DN the beginning of the season, because with Lincoln Youth Football, you kind of see kids like real small, all sorts of different sizes. So I was on the line most of the time. Later in the season, it was more running back, linebacker. And then the second I got to Northwest, it was linebacker, running back. And then they just saw me throw the ball around a couple times and put me at quarterback.
That was all it took when they saw your arm.
The ball. Well, let's talk about this a little bit. What's your favorite position?
Probably quarterback. I really like playing this last year.
Well, now let's talk about that a little bit. Playing quarterback's a little tougher than some of the positions. Not only now do you have to learn the plays, you got to be a leader. You feeling that? Are you feeling a little pressure, or are you having fun with it?
Kind of both. It can be a lot of pressure at times, depending on like what we're going through during the game. People putting their heads down, making sure they're all up. Because football teams, they're huge teams. Like it's usually teams of like 30, 35 people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Northwest High School. It's in its third year of football.
Right.
And so you've come over to the school. They haven't had any tradition. They didn't have very many numbers in the beginning. There were some games they couldn't finish. Were you part of that yet, or was that just before you? You remember?
So we haven't had to cancel any games halfway through, except this one we played in Gretna East. One of our players got really hurt, and we just had to cancel it early because it was getting really bad.
But the reason I bring that up is they want to build a tradition. I remember back in the long time ago when Southeast opened up in 1961. You know, that took them a while, and they had to build tradition. They wanted to get athletes there. So you get to be part of this. You get to be part of this fun foundation where you get to set the tone. Tell us. Your dad was telling me about you've got some good relationships with a couple coaches. How do you pronounce this? Brian's last name?
Lau.
Lau. Tell us about Brian Lau. Tell us about the relationship you've had with him.
He's always been such a good leader, making sure that everyone's in line with what they need to do when it comes to grades, even other sports, getting in trouble, all sorts of stuff like that. He makes sure that everyone's doing their role in the sport, making sure that we're disciplined. And he's the kind of coach that's always got your back no matter what. If you're feeling down, he wants you to reach out to him.
Wow.
And all sorts of stuff like
It's
that.
one thing I'll say about Coach Lauk is even before Jaxson started at Northwest this year, you know, I think Coach Lauk had kind of seen him playing Lincoln Youth Football last year and had reached out to me a couple of times in the beginning of the in this last summer, and asked, you know, what other sports is he playing? I said, well, right now he's playing AAU basketball, and he made it a point to ask, well, I'd like for you to provide me with a schedule for this, and he would show up to his basketball games. Hadn't even met Jaxson yet, and just you know, these coaches in high school now are going above and beyond to support their players and get to know them.
Well, Nick, share a little bit of that as a father. What are you seeing? What do you along that line? What different than our day? I don't think the coaches, our day, they cared, but I don't think we got this kind of treatment.
No, absolutely not. You you didn't see the coaches outside of the field, and now they're really making it a point to form this relationship with these kids now, and get to know them not only as an athlete but as a person, and helping guide them to their goals. And I think it's amazing. There's a big shout out to the crew over there at Northwest. It's been a struggle. I think this year was the first year that they had a full varsity season. They've got a few seniors, but it's been mainly juniors. So they're playing with a very young, not fully developed team. And it's been a struggle, but you can see the potential coming.
You see it starting to come about.
Right.
Talk about, Nick, you also mentioned Coach Keyshawn Hunt.
Yeah.
Can you share a little bit about him?
Yeah, that's Jackson's buddy over there at Northwest. They formed a pretty good bond originally.
Jaxson, share about the relationship with Coach Hunt.
So in the summer was when I first started kind of obviously getting to know him more, because he's assistant coach, so he wasn't really out and about doing the sort of things Locke was doing. So I met him on the football field, and he's just always been a really good support, making sure to keep the really strong bonds with kids. He's more of a friend to me than anything else, I'd say. But he also is a really good coach. He knows what he's doing, and he's done it for quite a while, I think. And he also taught me, or teached me during school. He teaches weight training. So I had him third quarter, and it was nice having him for a full quarter too when football season was done.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. Before we go any further, we need to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. More with Jaxson, Love, and Nick, and we'll be right back in just a minute.
Get ready for spring by joining an evidence-based program to improve your health and well-being. These programs use proven strategies to help you make lasting changes, whether it's boosting nutrition, increasing activity, managing stress, or enhancing wellness. Invest in yourself today and feel your best this spring and beyond. Paid for by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. The last few years have been wild, but we've been here for you through all the ups and downs, and we'll be here for you when you need us the most. For all your travels and for your day-to-day driving. With winter conditions causing problems all over town, the last thing anyone needs this year is constant car troubles. Let us help you drive in peace and make sure you drive to work and to winter destinations safe. A1 Automotive, 11th and L Street downtown, always honest answers.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions on 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Ever wonder what it's like to work for a company that actually cares? At Lincoln Industries, they're revolutionizing local manufacturing while taking care of their most valuable asset, their people. When you join their team, you'll enjoy comprehensive health coverage, wellness initiatives that work around your life, and benefits that show they're serious about your future. Plus, you'll be a part of a proud manufacturing tradition right here in the community. Don't just take their word for it. Visit LincolnIndustries.com to see all their current opportunities and find out why their people love calling Lincoln Industries home.
What's your radon level at home? Don't know? Find out with a call to Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating, 467-1111 for radon testing and mitigation.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Fear's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Fear's cheese spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Fear's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it twice a day.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it in the morning and before dinner.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it, and share it with my doctor. Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor.
Now that I know my blood pressure numbers, I talked with my doctor. We're getting those numbers down.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Learn more at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
Early break.
Zip's house smells like a mix of cinnamon rolls and Marlboro.
I don't smoke. Why do people think I smoke? I guess I look like a smoker. I sound like a smoker. I have leathery skin. But I do not smoke.
You've not been hacking the whole show. You've hacked the whole show. With Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush. From 6 to 9 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela. They let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
Back to What's Next 24 from the 93.7 The Ticket studio with the authors of Next 24, Michael Worrell and Sherry Tills.
All right, welcome back in. What's Next 24? Harrison runs on the ones and twos. As always, you guys can join in on Sundays. As always, 402-464-5685. Still got plenty of show left. 2 more segments ahead. I'll throw it over to the hosts, Mike and Sherry.
Thanks, Harrison. We are so excited, you guys, today. So, and I want to reintroduce these guys. We're today, our guest, we've got Nick Love, but more important, and I'm super excited about, is his son Jaxson Love, who is a quarterback right now for the Northwest Falcons. And we're having a little convo here about dad and his son and sports and goals. And it's just really been fun. And, you know, coming down with that, we still have so many things we want to talk about. But first, I want to say, because we've been talking to Dad, I want to ask Dad and Jaxson, how does Mom feel about all this? I mean, you got a son as Mom, and I had all girls. You got a son here playing some major contact sports. And I know Mom is supportive, but behind the scenes, is she still Mom going,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. During 8th grade, when I started playing, there was actually like a waiver that they had to sign, like that it could get really dangerous and that if anything happens, like it's not our fault. It's just the sport. and she got really nervous after she saw she had to.
I
sign
bet
that.
she did.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a little hesitant to let him play football in the beginning, but yeah, it's there.
But Dad did some fast talking.
Oh,
and
sure.
Brought her to the light side.
He luckily this year he's been pretty injury free. His first year playing for Neiman and Sons for Lincoln Youth Football, he took a couple of stingers and took a couple of falls, and mom's on the sidelines gritting her teeth and wants to jump up and go run and do her baby. I'm like, just sit down. He'll be all right. Let him deal with it.
Well, Jaxson, talking to you off air, this is fun. You told me your goal, you want to take this all the way.
Mhm.
What does that mean to you?
If I could, I want to go to the NFL, make it a lifetime career.
Oh, you would? You'd like to even go that far? I figured
Yeah.
you're going to say college. You want to go even
Yeah.
that further. And your role model is who?
My dad.
And how about on the football field?
Lamar
Who'd you share? You told me who'd you tell me off air?
Jackson.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Why Lamar?
I have a similar playing style compared to him for quarterback. I can throw it, but when I need to, I can really get out of the pocket and run.
Yeah, and I'd like to add, if everybody's looking to go to Jaxson Love and look at Huddle, you'll see a couple of videotapes, really good videotapes of us running, throwing, and then you can do both. This is what's really interesting about you. You can already do both. I've seen it. You can you really can have a knack for running. Tell us about it. Let's have a little bit of fun. Tell us about the moment. What's it like when you call the play and you take the snap from center and the shotgun and you decide to run? What's it like?
Well, it helps a lot that I used to play running back, so I know how to get out there real quick and be powerful with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But getting the play call, sometimes it can be kind of confusing. Just watching the coach.
Can you name a call? Can you give us a call?
Trips Right Longhorn is one of ours. It's a rollout pass, and the guy next to you, he lead blocks so that no one can get out while you're rolling out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we have that play installed anymore, but we ran it a lot last year.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you're listening, Coach Roll.
Yeah.
Because this is like, I mean,
Yeah.
you got somebody here who's a quarterback who can pass like no other and who can run like no other.
Nick, would
who can visualize plays like a running back.
Nick, would you say he's got some instincts?
Oh, absolutely. And that was one thing, this was the first year he'd ever played quarterback, and it just amazed me at the vision that he's got there, able to find the hole, find the pocket, and follow his blocks. The only thing I've been trying to get through to him as he's getting older is when he is running the ball Jackson's a pretty good sized kid, and you see a lot of these quarterbacks when they're about to take the hit, slide or whatever, go to the ground. Well, Jaxson, he likes to drop that shoulder and try and run through. So I keep telling him, like, pretty soon you're going to run into somebody that's twice your size. And
well, what was really cool when I asked him who his role model is, I thought he was going to say Lamar. He said you.
Yeah, no,
that's an honor. That's really cool. Jaxson or Nick, let me ask you first. You hear him when he says he wants to go to the NFL. How do you and your wife, how do you support him in his endeavors?
Just trying to provide him with every opportunity and all the tools. That's one thing that with all of our kids is I just believe that you let them make their decisions. If you try and tell the kids what to do, you get more pushback from them. So
on that note, and that is the perfect lead into one of my questions for you, Dad, is that, let's back up to college, from NFL to college. Right now, we're looking at such a shift and such a change in the way colleges are doing things. I think the biggest thing right now on the table is this NIL stuff. Right. But when he gets to where he's being recruited by colleges, how are you going to deal with that with him? What advice are you going to give him? How are you going to look at that as a family?
Yeah, that's something that we haven't really thought about or sat down and talked about a lot. But there's these 18, 19-year-old kids, there's a lot of money being thrown at them now. And,
Absolutely.
I've always been kind of a believer that the opportunity for these kids is to be able to play the game, but also to have their education paid for.
Right.
And I think that's where it should stay. The big opportunity for them is to have their education paid for. Well, now they're coming in on all this money, and I think the path that we would take would just be kind of, tell them, even if we have to put them together with a financial advisor or something, what they need to do with the money. Because, 18-year-old kid with $1 million in their pocket, who knows where it's going to go.
Well, and how, and that's the thing is they're looking at that kind of money. Why would they be really thinking about their education?
Right. That, and it also is like, well, I'm making this money now. Why do I keep putting in the work to get to the next level?
Absolutely. And then, we're also looking at here in Nebraska, they're doing away with that walk-on program.
Yeah.
And that's a heartbreak.
Oh, absolutely. We've seen a lot of great talent come out of that walkout program from a lot of these small community schools. And yeah, I hate to see it go away because it does open a lot of opportunities for these kids that may not just be, the all-star out there, but it's, they've got a lot of potential, and it gives them the opportunity to walk on, get the coaching that they need. And, they put the work in and excel. And, I think our goal for Jaxson right now is just, number one, to get that education. But if he can play ball along the way, I don't think he's quite decided what he wants to do with his future. But
yeah, Jaxson, have you thought about that educational wise? What some careers you'd like to do if it isn't football?
If I could, I think a teacher would be really fun.
Would you like to coach as well?
Yeah, if I were a
Teaching
teacher,
and
I'd want
coaching?
to coach. Yeah. But if I don't teach, I'd probably just want to major in business and go from there.
Go from there. Are you planning on doing any football camps this summer?
Yeah, we do. Well, Northwest does their camp every summer. Last year he did the National Guard camp, which is a week-long camp that the National Guard puts on. And
wow,
they had
Yeah, they do
three
that
or
as
four
well.
different schools.
Yeah. Some of the smaller colleges around here don't. Well, and UNL has their summer.
Right.
They have their summer camps too.
Some of those camps are hard to get into. So
Yeah.
if you don't do it early, I think right now we're last year it was rough because we had AAU basketball, and that's travel basketball consumes your entire life. I think this year we're going to kind of focus more on getting them in the weight room. He keeps telling me I'm bulking.
Bulking.
I'm like, well, as a quarterback, you don't want to bulk too much. You got to keep that speed up. So he's getting ready. He starts track tomorrow and getting ready to start getting that speed back up.
That'll slim you down.
Do you enjoy being a three-sport athlete?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really fun. Always staying busy the entire year.
Yeah. Have you had any injuries? Or anything that kind of set you back? I was just curious how you handle some setbacks. Have you had any injuries?
A while back, I used to play baseball too. And during my second season, I had to end early because I had broke my foot. Just like little injuries, nothing major here and there.
Yeah.
It almost seems like baseball is almost more dangerous playing than football.
Yeah.
I mean, my grandson ended up with 3 concussions, and then the last tournament he was in before he kind of ended it, he had a collision in outfield, and they thought he broke his neck.
Oh no.
Well,
Yeah.
Nick,
So I mean, I think football is starting to be more the safe sport.
Nick, as you've talked as a family, though, what's your hopes and dreams for Jaxson?
Just whatever his vision is, that he succeeds in it. We support him in everything that they do. So if football, professional athletes or becoming a professional athlete is his goal, then we'll be there every step of the way. But just
what do you think, Jaxson? What do you think when you hear that from your dad?
It means a lot knowing that no matter what path I want to take, that he'll be there, and Mom will be there to help me.
Jaxson,
have you had some setbacks? I mean, do you ever have self-doubt? You're young. You're very young. You're getting started in this. There's going to be increased pressure year after year after year. Competition is going to get tougher. Do you have any self-doubt, any worry, or how's your confidence?
I try not to worry about that too much. Like,
Good.
the older I get, the bigger I'll get. So I'll be around the same size as all the kids that I'll be playing. So it doesn't really bother me too much.
Oh, very good.
you're a three-sport participant in high school. How do you do that and still keep your grades up?
Well, all sports are after school. So during school, It helps a lot that Northwest is block scheduling, so I only have 4 classes a day with extra time to do all my stuff.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's taken me a while to get used to that block scheduling. I mean, back in my day, it's like, yeah, these classes, they went at these times, and I'm like, what do you mean block? What's an A? What's a B? What do you mean? What day is it? Are we on an A day, a B day? At least that's the way they do it in Omaha. And yeah, but I mean, you guys just seem to just skate through it. And it seems like a lot of these high school athletes are really good at using that time to keep their grades up. Plus, it seems like the coaches also, and I'm sure it's this way at Northwest, really push the academics that you keep all those things up.
They're really strict about if your grades aren't very good, then you
You
can't
don't-
play. You're
Good.
allowed to go to practice, but if they're not up, you can't play.
Wow, that's good.
Let's talk about social media. Nick, you and I did. We didn't have social media.
No, nothing.
Do you feel the pressure with social media, Jackson? Does it bother you? Texting, social media, whatever it might be in sports, you see a lot of video. How are you handling that?
I don't really fall into peer pressure at all, so none of the social media really bothers me at all.
I imagine though you see a lot. You see a lot on the online, whether
Yeah.
good or bad, sports, whatever it might be. How do you feel it affects your team, your teammates, school? How are you feeling about it?
There's usually always that one guy on the team that'll post something that could bring the whole team down. And then if everyone else sees it, and then it brings everyone else down, and then it's just not the same team as before, depending on what the other person said. So
As a team, do you go to that particular person and say, hey, we're a team. We can't be having you do this.
yeah.
Keep him accountable.
Are you the type of, I mean, now you're playing quarterback, it's kind of tough. Do you find yourself more of a vocal leader, or is it you show what you can do on the field?
I'd say both.
What do you think about that, Dad?
Yeah, no, that's this year Jaxson has really come a long way, and that was kind of one of the talks that I had with him when first found out he was going to be playing quarterback. Is this team is on your shoulders now. You need to go out there and you need to be strong. You need to be assertive. You see somebody that's not picking up their block. It's your job to get in their chest and tell them, hey, you need to pick that block up, or and he's really come a long way in his leadership skills this year. And one thing that makes me very proud that I've watched in Jaxson is he's got such a level head and a great attitude. Win, lose, whatever, he walks off the field with a smile. He's never got a bad attitude. There were a couple of tough losses this year, and could just tell that it was kind of eating at him a little bit. So it's one of those, as a dad, you want to go and tell them what they did wrong, what they could have done better, what they did good, but it's kind of let
it settle.
Keep it quiet, let him kind of settle down, and then we'll have that conversation. And I always tell him, you played great, but this is what I saw, this is what you need to do. And Jaxson listens very well.
On that note, Nick, real quick, we got to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Nick and Jaxson Love in just a minute.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call John Henrys at 402-435-5555 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-435-5555. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and is currently searching for journeyman plumbers to join their team. Experience is preferred, but not required for all applicants. When you join the team at Davis Plumbing, you'll receive full benefits package with paid time off. Join a small local business doing big things in Lincoln and surrounding areas. Apply today by calling 402-525-6922 or find them on social media. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks. Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions on 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Back to What's Next 24 from the 93.7 The Ticket studio with the authors of Next 24, Michael Worrell and Sherry Tills.
All right, welcome back in. Final segment. What's Next 24? Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As always, we got the host, Mike and Sherry, and just one more segment left here. So with that being said, go over and throw it to the host, Mike and Sherry.
All right, well, welcome back, everyone. We've been having a fun day here with Nick Love and his son, Jaxson. Nick, I'm going to turn it over to you. We've got about 5 minutes. Why don't you go ahead and interview your son?
Yeah, so we were just kind of talking about within the last couple of weeks, Jaxson kind of came to me and his mom and said that he was thinking about wanting to possibly transfer schools. So I guess kind of asking Jaxson, what was the process that me and you kind of sat down and had a conversation and came up with that pros and cons list of why it would be beneficial or why it wouldn't. Kind of tell us how we came to the decision we're at right now.
Yeah, sounds like a transfer portal coming up here.
I don't know. It was more kind of, I think it was really influenced by a lot of friends because I have a lot of friends who go to North Star from middle school, and they all wanted me to transfer. They think it would be better for me, but it would be a huge transfer because I would go from block scheduling to 7 periods a day, a lot more kids on every team with it being Class A, and yeah, I kind of just wanted to be able to play with my friends. But after I kind of sat down and just thought to myself, I'm here to make a career out of it, so I don't need to play with them. And Northwest has already given me so many opportunities that after thinking about it, I wanted to stay.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
We
Nice to
sat
hear.
down and
Nice to hear that.
had a conversation and kind of, laid everything out on, okay, other than going to North Star to play with your friends, what other benefits? And he really couldn't give me an answer. So,
But isn't it amazing that this type of thinking has come down to this level so quickly from college to now? You'd never think
no,
of this.
absolutely not. And even at this high school level now, you've got schools doing recruiting. And kind of sitting down with Jaxson, had decided that Northwest was where he was. I'm like, you're established. You're the starting quarterback. Why would you leave this opportunity to go to another school with your friends where you have no idea what you're going to be playing or if you're even going to make, because we just ended basketball season. So that's kind of where it started, was his buddies wanted him to come play basketball with them. Like, you don't even know if you're going to be on the team at North Star, but at Northwest you're starting. So
Wow. And that is huge. And sometimes I think in life, and you'll realize this as you get older, but as you look back, you'll be like, I was exactly where I was supposed to be at the exact time I was supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Jaxson, have you looked at the schedule for next year? What's it looking like for you?
I've tried looking, but I don't know where I could really find it. I think we play mostly kind of the same teams on the varsity level. Scotts Bluff, Crete, all those Class B schools who are a little further away. Not really any Lincoln teams except Standing Bear.
Well, let me ask you, I'm curious that you're playing in that Class B league. You've got a beautiful new stadium out there at the high school. That's gorgeous by Union Bank. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Can't believe they have the AstroTurf, Nick. We never had that. We played on gravel.
Right.
I think we did. Jaxson, tell me about that. Who's your rival?
Our rival was Standing Bear. Because
Standing Bear.
Lincoln School, just as new as us.
Very good. Getting a little competition, little things going.
Yeah, it was this year playing as a freshman. They really don't play like Class A, Class B. So they played a lot of the Class A teams this year, and we had some fun. He got to play against some of his buddies, and they had a good time.
I got a question for both of you. Nick, how proud of you are Jaxson? And Jaxson, how proud of you of your father, Nick?
Oh, I couldn't be more proud than him. He works so hard, and he's got a goal in mind, and he's headed down the right path. So,
Jaxson, same question to you.
Well,
a little hard to say, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't really know anything about his athletic career because I was so long ago, and I was obviously never around. But
you think your dad could suit up today?
No.
No.
That's awesome.
Well, you've only known him for 14, 15 years.
Yeah.
I mean, how much can you know, right?
Nick and Jaxson, we've only got about a minute and a half left or so. Nick, I'm going to give it to you first. Nick, you could get to say anything you want to the community. What would you like to say?
I'd say kind of going out to all the parents out there with athletes is, just be their support system. You don't push kids into anything that they don't want to do. That's one thing that we've been a big believer in is I'm not going to make my kids do anything. We've always asked them to at least give something a try, but if it's not for them, it's not for them. So just be there to support them every step of the way.
Jaxson, you got the final word. Step up to the plate.
For all the younger athletes around my age, I think that just need to drop the ego is a good start for everything to exceed in sports. Because you can't really get anywhere if you have such a high ego and you think you're just better than everyone else. You're not giving yourself any competition. But stay consistent. If you're not consistent, you'll lose progress quickly. Yeah.
Very good. Harrison, you got any final words, Harrison?
Keep listening to Ticket Sundays. We got plenty more content left on the airwaves.
Oh, we do. Sherry, you got a final word real quick?
Well, I don't want to embarrass you. We do shows, and afterwards I always tell Harrison we need a box of Kleenex.
Yeah.
Most people get me tearing up, and I'm thinking this show is not going to do that.
Yeah.
What you just said about the ego,
Thank you.
I started tearing up because you are so right on, and I have to tell you, Mom and Dad should be very proud of you because you are way beyond your years.
Nick, Jaxson, thank you so much for being on the show. It means a lot to us.
it was an
Congratulations, Jaxson.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Keep working hard. We're gonna have you on again. We want to hear you about next season.
When
all right?
you get to NFL, I want
right.
an autograph card.
Harrison, thank you. See you next week.
It takes hard work to make Nebraska the right place to raise a family, build a business, or grow a community.